Coach, would you like to start with an opening statement?
Man, it always feels good to get a win, especially in conference play. I thought Eastern Illinois posed a great challenge for us on both sides of the football with their front in the trenches and their run game. This is a team that week in and week out, win, lose, or draw, was putting up points. And they were doing it in a great way. We were able to get some great gains on the ground in their last few outings. But I felt like our defense, I challenged them in the trenches to dominate up front and make them one-dimensional. And the first half kind of showed that with one first down. Offensively, got off to a slow start. Not really happy with that. But we found a way to put points on the board, and we just got to continue to get better. It only gets tougher from this point out. We got 3 more OVC opponents. We have Texas Commerce at the end of the year, and every week gets bigger. And this is what we're playing for. We're playing for November football, and it's starting to come together at the right time.
Has this team turned the season around?
No, I think we're heading in the right direction, Mike. But you never say it's turned around because you still got 3 more opponents. We're finding out who we are week to week. We're finding the resilience, the fight in us. I love it. They respond to challenges, and we're learning to win with success now, and that's a good thing. You know, the guys, they want it, and they see it, they can feel it, and they're challenging each other. You know, I can see the leadership becoming stronger. And that's something that's really exciting to see. For me, seeing this team come together as one is really has been the goal for this year, and how we were able to muster through a lot of the adversity, especially the first month of the season, both on and off the football field. We had to go through that in order to get to where we are now, and I think the guys see that. So the expectation is to continue to win. We've been here before. Going back to last year, we ripped off 4 wins and fell short. And this year we have different expectations.
You last week you said you had to get them develop a killer instinct. This week they come out and score right off the bat. You had to have that killer instinct. So what'd you do? I mean, were you successful in doing it?
Yes and no. Coming out of halftime, we take the ball from the 1-yard line, get the ball at the 8-yard return, and get I believe a 3 and out, and that led to a touchdown, and then another 3 and out, and that led to a field goal, which was negated by a penalty, which started off last week, same situation, same guy. Which led to 14 points, but then we responded. Then we get the kickoff called back.
Yeah.
So the intention is there, with the execution is just poor. And that's what I have to focus on, is that I'm not going to beat them up from a lack of energy and enthusiasm and the initiative to do it. Is now the execution part that we have to handle, and that's where we are, you know.
But they did show it at the end of the game.
Yes, we did.
Yes,
they did have the killer instinct at the end of the game, because we did make it a game toward the end.
My last question: how tough would it have been to face all those old guys tomorrow, coming off a loss at the halftime when you get with all your old teammates? Would they have given you? Would they have ragged you out about it, or?
You know what? They probably would have been more supportive.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, tough loss yesterday, but you'll turn it around. I mean, they probably would have ripped me a little bit. I'm excited to see a lot of my teammates. You know, it's always great for homecoming to come back here. Amy Adams-Shrunks does a wonderful job of making us all feel welcome, from the generations going back to the Oilers, and just the great players that have played here. It's great. You know, CJ called me today, FaceTime today on the way to the stadium, and I think he was here at the game, just showing support.
Lindell,
Lindell, okay, good.
Lavelle.
Yeah, so it's once you're tight, it's a family, and I still have to have meetings tomorrow. I said I'll be coming in late, but we're still going to they want the day off. I'm like, hell no, nah, not yet. You know, we still got some work to do, and we want to get there.
So, Eddie, can you point to individuals on offense improving or the reason why you're having the turnaround?
I'd like to say our offensive line has really done a nice job, although we've given up 4 sacks today. A lot of them, you know, was up front, but then there was some on the quarterback. You know, Draylon Ellis, again, you know, threw for over 300 yards, surpassed 1,000 yards in the year, 3 touchdowns. He gives us a great chance to win, and I think Coach Yates has done a great job of putting in position to be successful, and the other quarterbacks as well. We're utilizing their skill set as well, and again, our defense has been outstanding. I think we were +4 in turnover margin, no turnovers, and that's something that we're good. I think we're 5 on the year, probably at the top 2 right now. I don't know who did what today. Top 2 in the conference.
You're 7 in the last 2 games.
7 in the last 2 games. So you know that's a big emphasis for us. We emphasize on getting the ball out, being aggressive, being nasty, being physical, and to only give up 1 first down against a unit that put up 35, 34 points the last few weeks and an enormous amount of rushing yards, and you know it's coming. You know that's good football right there, and that's a good building block. So, special teams wise, I feel good about it. You know, our block unit didn't get a block this week or last week. Really upset that we didn't get that return, because that would have been really good for us. We felt like we could have gotten some big plays in our return game today. So it's still complimentary football, and I'm really pleased with where the guys are headed right now.
And one more question. So who's the toughest opponent coming up of the 3 left?
It's us. It's the next one. Now we gotta master ourselves first, and then Murray State is a formidable opponent. I don't care what their record says. I look at the fact that that's a talented football team. The breaks didn't go their way, and I know that firsthand because we were there. We were that team, 4 weeks ago, and all they need is a little bit of success, and they can do it. They got a great offensive line. They have a receiver that's probably the best in the conference. Their defense is opportunistic. So that's going to be our next opponent, and then we're going to take it one step at a time. I mean, this is coach speak, but just like anything else in life, you just take it one day, one step, one opponent at a time. You don't ever want to get ahead of yourself and say, okay, T. Martin is going to be our toughest opponent. No, SEMO is right around the corner. So we got our work cut out for us, but we like that pressure. We want to be in this position. We work to get in this position. And the biggest game is next week, and that's going to be a great challenge for us. We got to go on the road. It's going to be a lot of distractions. It's going to be a lot of moving parts that we have to overcome and master. So it's just understanding that sense of urgency needs to be there, and it will be there.
What can you say about your defense just over the last 3 games? I mean, 7 turnovers the last couple games, under 200 yards given up today. What can you say about them just being part of the reason of the turnaround for this team?
Well, we finally getting guys healthy. And the guys that are coming in, the younger guys that have been here, are making plays. Josh Green has been, to me, the defensive MVP. 3 picks last couple weeks. Emerging as a leader, understanding the defense. Our linebacking core, is pretty strong. The guys have really stepped up, like Kayvon Pope, JB, Deshaun Bryant, Michael Crawford, Kendall's defensive end. Andrews. Not Andrews. Not Ahmad, 18. Straughter. Terry Straughter. They've all stepped up big time, and our defensive coaches demand excellence day in and day out. They play with a nasty, with a chip on the shoulder. They play with an attitude, and that's what we're about defensively. We want to make a team one-dimensional, and is paying attention to detail. We've become more disciplined, disciplined in our run fits. We're playing for each other. We're trusting each other, and we have this thing. We do our job. You know, you have to know the situation, know your opponent, know the plan, and then execute. And they have embraced that as part of their mantra, and that's what they go through. You know, we put them in situations where they've got to execute and trust each other, and we're learning to do that.